Hello guys, today's video is about why I play bass the way I do, why my pedal board is so big, and also a few other things such as why I move the way I do when I play music, why I dress the way I do, either dressing up or not dressing up, why my hair is this colour, and many other things that we will get into in the video. So first things first, I often get comments, why are you playing bass like that? Play it like a bass. It's not a lead instrument, blah, blah, blah. So the reason I play bass the way I do is because to me, it's an instrument and it makes music. And what I like to do is to make music. So that is not to say that if I play on a song, of course, I know my role as a bass player. I will always, 100% of the time, give the song what it requires on bass. So I'm very respectful of what a song does and doesn't need, and I am very respectful and proud of my role as a bass player. But what I also like to do, especially in my jams at the end of my videos, etc., when I'm not playing in band situations, I love to make music as well. I don't just love to make bass lines, and to me, the bass is a very, very capable instrument of not only making bass lines and rhythms and complementing things, but at making music itself, by itself, and making many other sounds. So moving on to why I have so many pedals, these two things go hand in hand. Again, I get, you're a bass player, you don't need that many pedals. Why do you need that many pedals? I can't hear the sound of the bass, etc. And I totally understand. So obviously, first things first, not hearing the natural sound of the bass. Of course, if I'm demoing an instrument or the song requires it, I will always show the natural sound of the bass. But going back to what I was saying, quite often my solo bass jams are for the sake of making music, not necessarily for the sake of hearing a bass in its natural form per se. So I use so many pedals because I love creating different textures and different sounds, different rhythms with different pedals. To me, it's an endless possibility, and because the bass is in a lower register than, say, a guitar, it can create such a guttural sound, and to me, I really enjoy being able to make that sound. I like making dark music. Of course, I like making happy music too. I like making all kinds of music because I just love playing music. So I will literally play any genre and enjoy it and hopefully do a good job of it. But I particularly enjoy making dark, moody solo bass pieces, and I enjoy adding textures. I mean, a lot of my influences from like age 2 upwards, from what I can remember, are things like Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, the Ratchet and Clank soundtrack, which is like a sci-fi game, and many other dark sci-fi type sounds. So that has always been something close to my heart, and to me, that's what speaks to me. That is a sound that I like expressing, and it's always an expression of myself and whatever music gives to me to flow through me. So that's why I make the sounds I do, and I love bass for doing that in particular because it is such a capable instrument at creating those sounds. I also find that obviously I use guitar pedals for bass as well. Pretty much every pedal for guitar will work on bass in my opinion, but they don't all necessarily sound the same as they do on guitar, and I love experimenting and seeing how they sound because although it's not the same sound sometimes, it has its own charm and it's a great sound quite often. So I'm interested in seeing the different potential of everything that's already out there and the instrument itself, and I think that bass has so much potential far beyond what people think it does and what people think it can do. So that is why I play bass the way I do. So I love to make music. I'm not just playing it in this context. So say I'm creating a solo bass piece or you're seeing one of my solo bass jams. I'm not playing it just to be the role of a bass player. I'm playing it because I am wanting to create a piece of music overall, and the bass is the conduit for that. It's the tool that I can use to create these sounds, but it doesn't necessarily exist just to be a bass line. I'm just doing it because there's something that I want to express, and that is the way that I can do it. So that's why I have so many pedals, and that is why I play bass the way I do, in terms of playing it like a guitar, etc. I love to bend the strings. I love the sound of bent bass notes and wah on a bass, distortions, etc. It's a very unique sound to me, and I am very interested to see just how far it can be taken. So I just enjoy exploring that, and everything you hear is just a piece of music for the sake of making music, and not for the sake of just fulfilling a role. Of course, I love doing that as well, and again, I know when it is my time to do that. There are some songs where I play pretty much nothing. Sometimes I won't play for most of the song, or I will play very long drawn out notes, or only in certain places. For example, on slow blues songs that the trio have done, on the most recent one we recorded, which you'll hear soon, I'm basically playing root notes in a certain rhythm the whole time. It's very simple, and to me it's about what makes the song great as a whole. So of course I'm not only about travelling a million miles a minute but I do believe that it's great to experiment with that, and you can make some fantastic music with that as well. So to me, it's all just about balance and knowing when to and when not to do it. Not doing it at all, if that makes sense. So hopefully that explains pretty much why I play bass the way I do. The next thing I wanted to go into is why I dress the way I do. Now, this is something that to me is really ironic, because in some videos I'm really dressed up in like stage gear, and in other videos I'm in pajamas. And I have had the whole spectrum of comments from either side, and looking at both, if they both met each other, they would both be very confused at why they've commented the opposite thing. So when I post a video where I'm dressed up, of course, sometimes you get comments saying, oh, you're a fashion slave. Oh, it's all about the looks for you. Ah, why is there another Instagram girl, etc., etc. It should be about the music. Learn to play your instrument first. Stop compensating, etc. Other hand, I've had comments where I posted videos in my pajamas and just very relaxed casual wear. Why aren't you dressing up? Why do you not look like you put any effort? Why do you not look like you put effort into the way you look? It comes all as a package, etc. So these are two very obviously contradictory comments, but they are all ones I've had, and I totally understand why. I'm not complaining at why I've had those comments. I can completely understand that, but I wanted to explain my side of it and why I do dress the way I do. So, starting with the videos where I'm really dressed up. Dressing up for me is something that I enjoy doing. I love getting to play around with different images. I always have. I find it really fun, and every time I'm dressed up in a video, it's all genuine. Like, it's something that I love. It's another part of me that I love to get the chance to express. And to me, those videos where I'm really dressed up, the purpose of them mainly is for other people to enjoy them. I especially did them in lockdown when people couldn't go out to gigs. I wanted to create videos that felt a bit like a mini gig. And to me, I really love getting to make music a whole experience. So, of course, first and foremost, it is always about the music to me, but I love to get the chance to create a whole experience, and dressing up, moving the way I do, etc. I love getting to do that, and I know there are loads of people that enjoy seeing that, and it's just a cool overall round experience. So the reason I'm wearing those clothes in those videos is, one, because I mean it and it is a part of me that I want to express. Two, I'm just having fun. And three, I want other people to enjoy it because it's a whole experience. Four, it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing, and I like experimenting, getting to create whole worlds out of something. So that's why I dress the way I do in those videos. On the other hand, why I'm wearing pajamas in some videos is because it's something that, to be honest, I'm not very fashion conscious. I will happily go out in whatever. I'm just me, and I like to wear whatever I feel like at the time. If I don't feel like dressing up, I'm not going to go out dressed up. If I feel like getting dressed up, I'm not going to go out in my pajamas just for the sake of keeping that kind of thing going. I just wear what I want to wear, and in some videos it's just a moment in time. I've captured exactly what that moment was. Sometimes I'm in my pajamas because I spend a lot of time in my pajamas, especially at home, obviously at home, because clothes in general, if I'm just sat lazing around, they tend to get on my nerves and aggravate me. So a lot of the time it's a pretty high chance that if something is happening in the moment, I'm probably in pajamas anyway. That's all there is to it. It's not me being lazy, not putting effort into music or anything like that. That's just why I'm wearing them. It's as simple as that. I just want to be comfortable, and it's just a moment in time, casual video capturing something that was happening, and I wanted to share it with all of you. So that's why I dress the way I do. Why I move the way I do, I did touch on that briefly, but again, I've had comments of like, just keep still and play the bass. Stop moving, stop squirming around, etc. And they get pretty violent, to be honest, because for some reason, well, I can understand if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you don't like it, you know, the videos are free to watch, and you have full free will to not watch it. I'm not forcing you to watch them, you're not paying to watch them. So, you know, if it's annoying you, just move on and forget about it. But why I move the way I do is because, again, one, I like to create a whole experience for people, and I know other people enjoy it, but two, the way I move is not choreographed. I don't sit and plan, I don't sit and practice it. It's purely how I'm feeling the music, and sometimes that can come across in a weird way. It's not intentional, but I don't want to do something less weird for the sake of creating a more maybe contrived version of it and just moving in a way that I think I should move rather than the way that I feel I want to move and that I am being moved. So I'm not moving like that in my videos or on stage to deliberately be annoying or weird or whatever. I'm moving that way because that's what I'm genuinely feeling, and I love getting to express that, and that is how it moves me. And the way I move changes from gig to gig. It depends on the mood of the gig, it depends on the mood of the song, it depends on the feeling of what I'm playing, etc. There are so many variables, so I don't always even move the same depending on genre, song, gig, etc. It's always an expression of what I'm feeling. So that's why I'm moving the way I am. It's not to be annoying or contrived or anything like that. It's simply what I'm feeling. And yes, I know it's weird as well sometimes. I think it's quite funny to look back on, and I love it. It just is what it is. It's a moment in time. It's a physical manifestation of how it's made me feel and moved me in that moment. And I think that is a brilliant thing to have captured on camera. I love it when you see other musicians doing the same thing, and you can tell it's like, that's really weird, but it's really cool that that's been captured and that's what it was doing to you. So that's why I move the way I do. Another thing is why my hair is this colour. Not something I ever expected to have to talk about in a video, but my hair is this colour because I like it. That's why it's that colour. There is no political agenda behind it. There is no reflection on any personality, mental traits behind it. It is simply because I like it. I've had my hair like this since I was 11. Obviously I was homeschooled, so didn't have to worry about having coloured hair in school. My hair has been red since I was 11, and I had no political agenda at that point either. It's simply because I like it, and I have always liked it, and I like seeing how different people express themselves and how they want to kind of do their hair. It's not really anything beyond that. There's no political agenda from my hair. There's nothing to do with what goes on up here, apart from maybe a preference of just liking the way it looks. So that's it really. But yeah, there was a couple of other things I wanted to talk about as well. One of those is why I do covers sometimes. So of course, if I post a cover, quite often I'll get comments like, oh, do something original, oh, everyone can do this, oh, come back when you've learnt the instrument and aren't playing it someone else's stuff. And again, I totally understand that. I do think it's great to express yourself and come up with your own stuff, but I do. And quite often, like, all of my music is out there. It's very easy to access. It's free to access. It just takes the click of a mouse to get to it. And if I saw someone and I saw them doing a cover and I thought, you're good, but like, can you do something original? Have you done something original? I would go and look, rather than maybe assume that they haven't based off one 4-minute or maybe even 30-second clip. So I do covers because, 1, they're songs I enjoy, 2, they're songs other people enjoy, 3, for me it's a gateway to introduce people to myself, and hopefully then they will go and find my original music too. But quite often people don't, and a lot of the time, and I know everyone gets this, people will see one teeny short clip of you and make up your entire personality, entire life, and entire dedication or not to the instrument based off 30 seconds. And I've got so many different types of videos that can't all be obviously put into one video that it's frustrating when people see one 30-second clip and that's me. But I totally get it. I'm not for 1 second complaining, saying woe is me at any of this, so I hope it doesn't come across that way. I just really wanted to make this video to just lay a few things out there and say how it really is, basically. But yeah, that's why I do covers, because they're songs I enjoy, the songs other people enjoy, and hopefully you'll put the effort in and come and find my original stuff too, and maybe you'll even like that. Or even any of the other projects that I'm part of and have been lucky enough to be part of. Another thing is why I'm a girl. So again, I hate the fact that I am talking about this, but it's something that I get comments on a lot, where you'll post something and again they'll make up your entire personality and dedication to the instrument based on the fact you're a girl, or they won't even bother watching the video. You'll just get comments or assumptions from people elsewhere where they'll be like, oh, just another Instagram girl, just another fashion slave, etc. And again, I can completely understand where that comes from, but it's very, very unfair, and that is because I take great pride in being the best musician I can possibly be. It's always been about the music for me, and it always will be. Everything I do is with the interest of music and helping other people at the forefront. So I also put a lot of time and effort into hopefully inspiring and helping other people to also pick up the instrument. I dedicate a lot of my time to kind of trying to show what the instrument can do, give people an easy and digestible introduction to it, make them want to pick up the instrument in the first place. Of course, I'm not the only person in the world that does that, but music is important to me and bass is important to me. So if I can help someone else be able to pick that up, that is something that I am more than happy to dedicate my time to, and it's very important to me, as is music itself and playing genuinely. I play everything from the heart. I have never for 1 minute rested on my looks to get anything to do with my music out there. Like, I can't help, obviously, the way I look. I can't help the fact I'm a girl. It just is what it is. To me, I don't particularly think about it. I have never rested on my looks to do anything in music. To me, if I can't do something to the standard that I want to be able to do it, I either won't put it out there and I'll keep working on it. Well, that's it. I just won't put it out there. I will only put something out that I'm happy with and that I know is worth putting out there. I would never put something out there that's kind of less than and then expect or try to get more from it because of the way I look or anything like that. I was born looking like this. Whether you like it or not, some people hate the way I look, some people love it, some people accuse me of being a man in disguise, and quite often they'll see videos of me playing something like, I don't know, something of a higher difficulty level, and they'll go, it must be a man, that's got to be a man playing it, which is kind of unfair but really funny, and in a way it's kind of a compliment to me. I'll take it that way. And again, I'm not offended, but I just want to explain my perspective on things and my humble opinion on it. It's just, music is at the very forefront for me all the time. I'm not interested in being an Instagram girl, no disrespect to anyone who does do that, but it's not where my heart is. I'm not interested in resting on my looks, and to be honest, I'm not interested in anyone who does do that. I'm interested in musicians, and I know that musicians and people in general all have different ways of expressing themselves and different levels of theatrics, etc., and different ways of expressing multiple things. So some people like to dress up for the same reasons I do, some people don't like to. Both are equally as important. Some people love to move, some people don't love to move, they just prefer to stand there, and both can be equally as captivating. If you're genuinely doing something because that is what you're feeling, that in itself is captivating. And if you're genuinely wearing something that you're comfortable in, that in itself is captivating, in my opinion. It is all about being genuine and not so much anything else for me. That's pretty much all it comes down to. So sadly, I can't help being a girl. It's got absolutely nothing to do with my playing whatsoever, and I really hope that more people in the future can not just see me or anyone else and write them off immediately based on that. It's really frustrating to be diminished to that when I know how many years and hours I've dedicated to my own playing and hopefully to helping other people's playing and introducing them to the instrument as well. So please take the time to genuinely look at what I do and what other people do before you diminish me to that. Because it's all out there. Whether you like it or not is completely fine. I don't have an issue if you don't like what I do. That is completely fine. No one can like everything everyone does, and no one can be liked by everyone either. So the most important thing to me is not that I somehow bring you round into liking what I do, it's just to know that you have genuinely, truly looked at what I can do before diminishing me to something that I am actually not. So I hope I've explained that okay. I hope this comes across okay. It's a bit of a tough one to navigate around, but I'm doing the best job I can. If you have also faced any of these questions, I'm sure pretty much everyone on the internet has, I would be very interested to hear your experiences as well. I really do hope this has come across okay. None of this is meant to be putting anyone down. It's not complaining. It's not a whinge fest about, oh, people are saying this to me. I completely understand where these comments and thoughts come from, and I can totally empathise with that completely. I really do get it. But I just wanted to explain my side of things. That is the only reason I've done this video. And hopefully, obviously, especially in the first part of this video about why I play bass the way I do, hopefully maybe even inspire other people to have a different perspective on the instrument and start experimenting with it and seeing where they can push the instrument to. Because, again, it's an instrument that has so much potential, and I think it would be a shame if it's only diminished to it's a bass, play it like a bass, because I'm playing the bass, it's not complaining. What more can you do? But yeah, I totally get it, but hopefully this has cleared a few things up, and it will be business as usual next week. I've got a few really cool pedal demos coming up as well. I'm also losing my voice thanks to hay fever. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will put links to my original music down in the description. I will also finish up now with a few examples of different ways that I've used the bass and why I use so many pedals, just so you can see them actually in action if you're not already familiar with that. Again, I'm not saying I'm doing anything new. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at it. All I want to do is explain where I'm coming from when I'm doing this. That's it. So I'll finish up with that. Hopefully you enjoy these, and hopefully you enjoy this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.